Greetings and welcome to Be One Love, Spirituality in a Modern World. It just seems to me that it's time for a reality check. I call it a reality check, baby cakes, or reality check, folks. Bottom line is, in the real world, you must work for what you desire in life. I always say the more that I will do more in one lifetime than most people do in 10 lifetimes, because I don't want to come back and do this crap again. If you work for the government in city, state, school districts, anything, everybody wears a blue shirt. That's why we're called blue shirts. So that you don't see what area I work in, I have to put this over my emblem because there's, too many freaks in the world. They see where you are and they come and like sabotage stuff, or they hound you and whatnot, and who needs that? Today's episode is reality check. Now I'm in 5th grade, whatever age that is. And I'm taking the city bus to another school to go work in the cafeteria. Why? Because I didn't get allowance growing up. This is the real world. You want something in life, you're going to have to work for it. There's nothing free in life. So I go over there, I work in the cafeteria, get my little bit of money, and then I can buy my magazines or soda or whatever it was that I desired that I needed. Yeah, well, that's where the ego check comes in. Later in life, you figure that out because it's called emotional maturity. I find in life, working 12, 13 years in accounting, so working in the office, you're like going to a beauty pageant every day. Dyed my hair for 20 years, did the perms, the makeup, the whole it looks like you're going to a beauty pageant. And yes, I was a model in California. Alright, so we got, boom, this is my portfolio. Yeah, okay, I'm in my 20s, and this is what I look like. Yay, okay. So you're in your 20s, you're looking hot. Yeah, okay, well, it can go throughout life. Yeah, you're hot, all right? Then, 32, did it again. I thought I wanted to keep up on, fashion, accessories, and all that jazz. So I'm in a competition of 200 women. And because I was so nervous, I've never walked the catwalk before. So I'm up on the catwalk. You have to like parade in front of these judges. So I'm like 32. I end up having 3rd place of 200 women. Alright? I was mad. The lady that won had just had a baby 6 weeks ago. Can you believe that? And then I'm like 48, 49. I thought, what the heck? Let me do it again. So here we go. That's me when I'm 48 years old. So yeah, you're all nice and hot stuff when you're up to age 50. But this is the real world. I mean, back in the day, they were putting whale, blubber, fat in makeup. Do you know how much damage that is doing to your skin? I don't think so. So I haven't worn makeup I don't know, 20, 25 years. I don't do my hair anymore. Why? Because I found it was extremely superficial, which then means my soul is dying. I can't be where my heart is not happy. So I changed careers and I became a landscaper. So I got 30 years professional landscaping. That's all aspects of landscaping. I have 22 schools. I mow the fields at the schools. Junior high, high school, elementary. And we're talking like one high school is like 22 acres. So there's a lot of work to do. I have I'm a gang mower, and I am the #1 gang mower. I really wanted to be before the age of 50. I will be 60 next year. I wanted to be the first female gang mower racer nationwide, like NASCAR. You got the little outfit on, you pull into the pit stop, they change the tires or whatever. Yeah. So a gang mower is 15-foot wingspan, 11 blades, 4-wheel drive, and hydraulic. I'm the first female gang mower in the history of the district of where I work at, and it is the 4th largest school district in the state. I am the first female gang mower. And that district's been around for over 50 years, established in the 1800s. So what's that tell you? They got downtown, it was a 1-room schoolhouse, okay? And yay, the Mormons built the town. Now you can see on the town that they call a city. To me, small minds think small, because their minds are so closed. It's all up in tunnel vision. Everyone should do this and say that and blah, blah, blah. Okay, that's old school brainwashing caveman days. We gotta bump it up, folks, because this is the real world. And in the real world, you want to make sure that your heart path, which is your soul path, follows in the direction of your destiny. Because when you follow someone else's destiny, it is fate. When you follow your own destiny, it is your soul path. So you get to choose which one you want. Like I said, I'm in 5th grade. I'm earning money. I'm 17. I start my accounting. Luckily, my mom worked in accounting. Her mom, my uncle, my aunt, everybody in the family worked in accounting. Okay, Ma said, it's your bread and butter. Well, yeah, okay, but I couldn't do it anymore. After 13 years, my soul was dying. I had to go somewhere else. I saw this man out trimming a bush with a hedge trimmer. I thought, dude, I want to go out and play in the sunshine. I'm a Gemini. That is a spring, summer. When you learn your season, you know what color you should wear, because the particular color you wear matches the blue or yellow around the irises of your eyes. Because if you wear the correct color, it will then tell you what season you are. When you're wearing the wrong color, your color will make you look sick and depressed and whatnot. But if you wear the right color, it makes you look like ambiance. You know what you're doing. 17, working in accounting. Did that up to the age of 30. It took a while to figure out the time zone, because now I'm 59, I'll be 60 next year. So I started in my 30s. And you have to, when you're working with all men, we're talking operations, HVAC, carpentry, electricians, we're talking the whole shebang. Now, in the district I work at, there were 85 gardeners, because you have 150 schools. Pretty big. And you have all of operations. I was the only female in the field, because I'm running heavy equipment. You have to have a CDL-A license, commercial driver's license, in order to pull the truck that's a 515 10-cylinder, to pull the trailer that's 18,000 pounds, to pull the mower. So you're driving a rig, you're driving heavy equipment, you have to operate heavy equipment. And that to me is home, because I'm like 5 years old and I'm climbing trees, and they ask me what I want for Christmas when I'm 5. I want a race car set. I want trucks. I want the whole shebang, because I was a tomboy. So I tried the girly girl makeup and hair and all that jazz. Now, when you're in fashion, females need accessories. So you could have a really cheap dress, a cheap ensemble, but your accessories is what makes the overall picture. It's kind of like when you make your bed, you got pretty sheets, but it's your comforter that makes the room, your ambiance and tranquility. When you have the correct accessories, you then create self-esteem. With each little increment, you then have self-esteem, self-worth, self-love. So the more self-esteem you build in yourself, the more self-worth and the more self-love. Now I'm in my 40s, and I tell my doctor before, you know, the world is psychosomatic, 95% psychosomatic, 98% psychosomatic, and 2% DNA genes. Psychosomatic is what you yourself have caused, and this is a term in psychology. Psychosomatic is recognizing an illusion. You have now created a different world. So then fear kicks in, depression, and then you've created high blood pressure. You create your own sickness, ailment, diseases, dis-ease of the four bodies of being. When you learn how to do the four quadrants, seek, find, conquer, move on, then you know how to let that, you acknowledge it. That's the way it is with the inner child. You must acknowledge it. Let it come out and play, because if you don't, it's going to get you in trouble. Let it come out and play in a positive direction. Just like before you go to sleep, you must give yourself a purpose. What is the point and the purpose of your dreams? What information do you need to learn in order to put it into your waking state? I've already passed through all of that because I didn't go to high school. I didn't believe in government education. And who do I work for? Lo and behold, the government. I then turned 18, got my GED, high school diploma, my AA, behavioral science, anthropology. I got my master's, bachelor's, the whole all the way up to the PhD. And I'm slowly doing the increments so that I can do my dual PhD. In psychology, it will be the second one. To me, cultural anthropology is like the ultimate heaven, because it takes cultures around the world to create the world we live in. It's the music, the textiles, the foods, everything. It's beautiful when you put it all together. And you see in anthropology, archaeology, the rituals that people do to create their belief system. It's absolutely fascinating. In the world of Northern America, USA, for instance, people have a tendency to go into a different mindset. And this mindset is creating an illusion, which creates psychosomatic, which is stress. Stress does not exist. The 2% DNA genes is what I've mentioned to someone else. It is basically, you hurt someone else in your last life. You then bring that karma in this life. And the person that you hurt was yourself, because you didn't learn your lesson to teach your lesson in order to bring it into this life. So once you do that in each lifetime, you then pass to the next level of love lessons. I'm a Gemini, so my next lesson will be Cancer. That's a whole nother ball game, and I can explain that in another video, and I have explained that in other videos. The 2% DNA genes is what I just said, from the last life to this life. Your thoughts create content. Your emotion attaches that to that content. So your thought creates your emotion. Your emotion then becomes elevated or degraded. When you live in the fear or the psychosomatic world, whatever world that you decide to create, it's detrimental to your mind, body, emotion, spirit. All right? You have to recognize that. Let that process and move on. Let it go have its own life somewhere else. Because why? Because you're here to build up your self-esteem, your self-worth, and your self-love. So part of that was, as I'm growing up, I'm learning this emotional maturity, because I find today there's too many children in adult bodies because there's not enough people that have reached the level of emotional maturity. Had my first child when I'm 18 years old. When she turned 16, she wants a car. And I said, there ain't nothing free in life. When I took my kids to the grocery store, any store whatsoever, as they were growing up, I tell them, don't you dare ask for anything, because you ain't going to get it. Nothing free in life. No one owes you anything. You then have to make your mark in life, and you have to go for what it is that you want. Someone mentioned to me a while back, they said, where did all the whiners come from? Me, myself, you must get that anger out, whatever, because anger is hurt turned inside out. So you must get that negative feeling out. How do you do that? You do it in a creative process. You must give it a point and purpose. Give it a direction. In order to give it a direction, it will then have a purpose. So say, you know, I'm having a bad day, I'm crying or whatever. What do? I get out my paints, my paintbrushes. I paint. Or I start typing because I'm writing a book. I'm extremely creative because these are the things I was born with. These are my gifts from God. You take that energy and you create something fantastic with it. As I go through life, I'm creating my world, my way. So ladies, oh, back up. My daughter, she wanted a car when she was 16. I said, nothing's free in life. She went and got a job. She worked at the commissary, at the naval base, and she worked there as a cashier or bagging or whatever. So she's there, she made the money, and then she went and worked at a, what do you call it? Like a retirement home? You go over there and she's working there, but she's playing cards. She tells me this not too long ago. She learned about crossword puzzles. She played cards with the old people and all that jazz. Okay, well, good for her. She made enough money to pay for her driving class in the driving school. She bought her car, and she bought her insurance. There's a will, there's a way. It's the same with my son. Ain't nothing free in life. You gotta go work for it. Because when people give you something, you don't appreciate it as much as if you went and worked for it. So after going through accounting, going through modeling, all the degrees, I'm happiest where my heart is as a gamer. I love landscaping. I love being out in nature. Even though I did white collar work for 13 years, doesn't matter. It's not where my heart is. As I'm working, I take into the scope of all the experiences I've had in life. One of those is that this is for you ladies, or men that want to be ladies or whatever. This is female energy right here. You gotta own that power. You gotta know who's in control. You are. You are the boss, and that's the way it is. Let me tell you, working with male landscapers for 30 years and looking at all the men over in operations, they see you and they say, see a female, oh, we can get over on her. We could do this and this and this. I don't think so. So much gossip happens. Blue in color psychology is gossip. Ain't happening, all right? Now, some of y'all might like what I say. Some of y'all might not like what I say. But this is the real deal, baby cake. These are the facts. All the time, I see these men trying to challenge me. Why are you boring me? If you want to know some, ask. Don't assume, because assuming you're judging. Judging is assuming one's own inadequacies. And I find throughout life, unfortunately, there's a lot of people that have very low self-esteem. I don't understand. Why is that? Did y'all not learn how to create your world? Did y'all not learn how to be the boss of your world? I'm going to be 60 next year. And nobody going to tell me how to live my life, what to think, what to do. Ain't happening. And they all know this at my job because I've been there for, 20 years. So I take these little increments and the things that I do at my job and the increments I've done in my life. For the ladies, when you do a catwalk, I don't know about men when they do catwalks, what they do, but for ladies, when you do a catwalk, that is where on modeling, they come out on there's all the seats around, and then they come out on this catwalk. So you have to be able to do the spins, you have to be able to do the backwards walk, you'd have to know how to do the poses, and yeah, I'm less than 5'3", so I'm too short. They want, what do they call that? A tall drink of water. They want somebody's like 5'7", and boop, boop, boop. It's like, okay. Well, when you're 5'2" and a half, it's like, that's not happening, no matter what you do. So it's kind of like, modeling was like, forget it. Even though I was good looking, I've had people over the years, and other people have seen it too. And even a coworker of mine, he said, I've never seen anything like it. I've worked at American Airlines. I've never seen anything like this before. These guys, it's tripping. Because they would see me, they would literally walk into walls, walk into doors. One guy actually driving a car down the street, ran right into a telephone pole. And just maybe a month ago, this lady walks by in front of me. She sees me and she trips and there's nothing on the ground. It's like, dude, I'm not a freak. I'm a worker. I'm a human being. Get over yourself. So I get a lot of challenges and people staring. Literally, I used to jog the bleachers at one of the high schools. And here's our ground shop. And 25 times up, jogging, and 25 times down, I was up to 600 crunches because I was in training. Training to promote my books. How do you do that for free? Competitions. Vegan bodybuilding, belly dancing. So I would be jogging the bleachers, and literally, the guys inside, they would literally be tripping over themselves to come out and see me jogging the bleachers. It was ridiculous. I see it all my life. People have this thing about staring. Even now, I go to the store, and more men than women, sometimes women, but men, they will just stare. It's like, I want to pick my nose or something. It's like, dude, you want something to look at? What is your problem? They're so afraid. And I'm just walking along, minding my own business. That's the way it should be. For the ladies, to walk like you own it. You are the boss. Now, for females, you don't walk heel toe. That's not how it works. That's how most people work it. No, you walk ball, heel, toe. So you're stepping on the balls of your feet first. So when you do, they're typically, you have your foot out a little bit, and then you do ball, heel, toe. Ball, heel, toe. No matter what you're wearing, I can't spin in my boots, but no matter what you're wearing, when you're walking, you're doing the ball, heel, toe. At the same time, your arms aren't going anywhere. Don't be like, right? Your arms aren't going anywhere. You're pushing a grocery cart with your hips. That's why you're ball, heel, toe, okay? Now, as you're going along, if you're lucky enough, you got some music, some beats happening. So as you're going, you're doing a little bounce, bounce, bounce. So when you're walking into a room, you own it. You are the boss. You have the power. You understand? This is what the ladies do. No matter what kind of outfit you're wearing, no matter what you're doing, you are the boss. It's called self-esteem, self-worth, self-love, and it's all right here. You own it because you have the power. Follow your own destiny and your own soul path. Don't everybody else's fate. You find your belief. You then stick to it. You create it into your world the way that it should be for you each and every day, because the more I learn about me, the more I can help others, which in turn helps humanity. And that is what life is all about. Own it. It is your power. Make it work for you. And yes, I used to have more keys, and after a while, it starts dragging you down when you're like 115 pounds. It's bigger than you are. And by the way, this is my wallet, simply because when I'm getting up, a lot of times it'll fall out of my pocket, and this way nobody can take it from me. No, I don't have a purse. Who's got space for that stuff? Dude, you're working heavy equipment. You aren't going to be toting around this little spiel. So, get yourself a chain, get yourself a wallet, get yourself keys. One time I walked into one of the buildings, I forget which one, and somebody goes, I know those keys, because I'm walking, I'm moving, I'm doing what I need to do, because I am the boss. And that's the way it is. Life is love, love is life. Blessings from Reverend Lewis. Thank you for your support.